Good morning, guys. Welcome back. Freezer meals day 3. Like as you know, I took yesterday off. So today we're going to do a little bit of breakfast and we're going to do a couple dinners. We're going to do some butter chicken for Michael and Cody. They love it. I hate it. But we roasted off that chicken in the rotisserie the other day. So I'm just going to shred that up and we're going to use that. But we're going to do some buttermilk waffles for breakfast, and I think we're going to do some pulled chicken. That may change between now and then, but that's kind of what the plan is. But anyways, let's get started making these waffles. I'm just going to jump right in here with you guys. So, don't mind my mess. This is my waffle iron. Imagine that it has farm animals in it. Okay, we'll warm that up in a sec here. Off to the side. Alright. Okay, so in here I have 2 tablespoons of sugar, a teaspoon of soda, and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I'll leave the recipe down below. Okay. And now we're just going to add 2 cups of flour to this. You can make this into pancakes as well. It's a really good recipe. And then I got 2 cups of buttermilk over here. If you don't have buttermilk, it's just butter. It's just milk and white vinegar. Okay. So I like to put the soda and the sugar and the baking soda all at the bottom, because sometimes baking soda can be so clumpy, and I like to make sure it's mixed all throughout, because you want that soda all the way through that flour. So now I got my 2 cups of buttermilk. I had a couple eggs here. And I'm just going to drop it in the buttermilk. I'm out of vanilla. It should have a teaspoon of vanilla, but I'm out. So, c'est la vie. Okay. Okay. So now I'm gently just going to mix this up. Alright, I'll do more in the batter here. So now I have my batter. And then if I spill a little bit, it's not so bad. Just gonna make sure I get everything here. And we're going to get making some waffles. I'm just going to plug this in, guys, get it started. Get rid of the whisk now. Alright, smells good. Okay, get this out of the way. So, I'll make a few waffles here with you guys. Since I found my bread. This is just a little bit of coconut oil I'm going to put in here. I've had this waffle iron forever. The kids just love it because then they can pick their farm animals. Whatever they're going to eat for breakfast, they like it. It's kind of fun, right? There we go. Close that up so it heats up a little bit faster. Mine beeps. Alright guys, I'll bring you back as soon as this is up to heat. Alright guys, excuse me, we're all heated up here. So I just used a 1/4 cup measure. And I just fill these up. Move it around a little bit. I might just have some chicken and waffles for supper. That sounds kind of good. So we got quite a few meals in the freezer. It's going to help a little bit for sure. And fill them up. Close it up. Yeah, like this recipe is so versatile. Like you can use it for pancakes, waffles. I will triple this usually when I have enough buttermilk, and I'll pop them in the freezer for breakfast and stuff. And Michael or Cody just put them in the toaster and then toast them up. They really like having them. And they smell so good. What I would do is put some dehydrated apples in there and some cinnamon in there, but they're not like that. But once you get going, it doesn't take that long. Once your waffle iron gets hot. But I'll bring you guys back as soon as these are beeping. All right, guys, it's beeping. See how they turned out. Oops. Look at that. Perfect waffles. All right. Then we'll load it up again. And I'm just gonna, ow, that's hot. I'm gonna keep loading this up. Finish up these waffles, and then I'll bring you back when I'm all done. Alright guys, excuse me, we're all heated up here. So I just used a 1/4 cup measure, and I just fill these up. Move it around a little bit. I might just have some chicken and waffles for supper. That sounds kind of good. So we got quite a few meals in the freezer. It's going to help a little bit for sure. And fill them up. Close it up. Yeah, like this recipe is so versatile. Like you can use it for pancakes, waffles. I will triple this usually when I have enough buttermilk, and I'll pop them in the freezer for breakfast and stuff. And Michael or Cody just put them in the toaster and then toast them up. They really like having them. And they smell so good. What I would do is put some dehydrated apples in there and some cinnamon in there, but they're not like that. But once you get going, it doesn't take that long. Once your waffle iron gets hot. But I'll bring you guys back as soon as these are beeping. All right, guys. We've eaten some. It's bound to happen, right? So, like a batch and a half we're eating. But it's enough for tomorrow morning. They won't even get frozen. But we're going to get working on the butter chicken next. So I'm just going to pick you up and move you. I got the frying pan on. So here we go. We're just going to use my stove today. I'm not pulling out the induction burner. So in here, we're going to put some butter. When I find my butter. I was pulling chicken as I was waiting for those waffles. It's right there in front of me and I missed it. So this is something Michael and Cody like. And we'll just use, they'll eat it with rice. I'll try to, there you go. There we go. And I just use convenience butter chicken. Ooh, I guess you guys can't really see that. Butter chicken, PC brand. They like it. So it works. This is actually something that I make Cody for his birthday every year. Because he just loves it. And then I have naan bread. And I'll bake that up for them. And then I'm going to make some biscuits and stuff this afternoon. But you guys have seen me do all that. I'll link those videos down below. So there's no sense in bringing you guys along for something you guys have already seen. But I know this stuff is fairly simple, but this is kind of how I use up leftover chicken or whatever. And I thought, yeah, there are some good convenient stuff out there for sure. I'm just not a big fan of it, but the boys really like it, so. Go. My dog's getting in the way. So now I just take it and heat it up a bit. I just rip it. If I'm using chicken breast, I cut it really small, but got quite a bit. And I still quite a bit on that carcass I got to rip off, but Costco has a really good brand. Guys didn't mind that one. But this PC one is their favorite by far. And for me to, I mean, I do have some spices that I can make it, but it is very expensive to make. So then they're going to have this for supper. Okay. A couple more and that should be plenty. Because like I said, they are eating naan with this, and they are eating rice with this as well. Some brown rice. And I might even make that pie today, but I'm just going to use my canning for that. Really simple, but it's a good way to use up your leftovers if you like this kind of thing. PC also has like it is really good, a pad thai one, and we've used leftover chicken with that too. Like when I've roasted a turkey, even a turkey. I've even done this with turkey too. when I've roasted off a chicken and we have leftovers. It's just a good way to use them up. And then you just add the sauce. Like, this is fairly simple, obviously. Now, if I was making this from scratch, it's an all-day thing. And I have done it from scratch, but for $2.99, I can't make it. So every time I make this, I think about Michael's gonna giggle because he's in the other room. The first year that Michael and I were together, Cody came for his birthday, and I had made this in our very first apartment, and he was so angry because his apartment stunk so bad. But now he eats it, so now he's fine with it. But back then it was a little bit different. We laugh about it every time we make this. And then you just kind of heat it through and you're done. It's simple, right? And then, like I said, they just pour it over rice. And I do add a little bit more butter to it. That's the only thing different I think I do, is I do add butter to it. I love their tandoori chicken. I do have tandoori seasoning in the house. I could have done that. But Indian food is not one of my favorites. It's not high on my, I'm going to go eat that today, or I'm going to make that today. And there. That's basically it. This freezer meal one might not be as interesting, but this is kind of what I'm doing, so thought, why not let you guys hang out with me? Cody likes this with barbecue chicken. I barbecue it first and then I do it. But it is so cold here today, there is no way I'm going out to that barbecue. You know what? I might put a little more chicken in there, because the boys have been really hungry lately. And a little more chicken. There we go. Alright guys, I'll be back. Alright guys, I changed up my mind today. And that is nothing new. I really want some chili, so that's what I'm going to make. And then I'm going to freezer some of these, some of this in the freezer. So that's just some garlic salt. Sorry, hit you there. And my favorite, keg seasoning. And add some ground ginger to that. Some dehydrated garlic. Some chili flakes. Some coriander. Smoked paprika, the rest of it. Cilantro leaves. Some chili powder. I've been wanting chili for about a month now. Boys aren't too keen on it, so I'll just freeze it in like little bags for just myself, because I love chili and it's cold. That's what I want. So I got a can of Rotel here. Just gonna drop that in. This summer I'm gonna try canning some Rotel. If I can find the proper chilies. Home canned red beans. Navy beans. And some Great Northern beans. Mix them all up. Oh, I love chili. I put the ginger in there in hopes that it's not too bad on my stomach. But I don't care. I'll put up with it. I love it. Okay. And 1 liter of spaghetti sauce. And I'm going to do one of my home canned tomatoes, whole tomatoes. I feel like I'm missing something. I don't have any black beans, so. Peppers. Oh yeah. I'm making this the way I want it. There we go. And just a little bit of water. There. And I'm just going to let that perk away here all day. And then I'll taste it later on. Gonna be good. Boys can have their butter chicken and I'll have my chili. Perfect. And I get a couple freezer meals out of it. Alright guys, I'll bring you back a little bit later. Okay guys, so decided to do some pulled pork for my in-laws. Now, we got these jars. I canned these 2018 of pork. We don't mind the pork in a jar, but we really did not like the pork supper in a jar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the pork out of here, put it in this roasting pan, and I'm going to take the potatoes and get rid of them. Feed them to the chickens. We really didn't like it. So that's definitely one thing I'll never can again. We really did not like canned carrots. So, and this will just give my mother-in-law an extra couple meals for her house. And I'm clearing out jars, you know, and that's, I mean, these were made for like my mom. Says Mom's roast pork in a jar. She didn't like the carrots either, so she wasn't eating them either. So, you know, you're not always, I mean, you don't know unless you try it. But, so we're just gonna recreate these a little bit and I want these jars as well. This is going to make quite a bit, so this will probably be a couple meals for them. Our basement is so cold, I gotta be so careful with these jars. To find. I'm gonna move this out of the way here. And then in my pot on my stove, I just got some hamburger. I'm just gonna make some pasta. And I'll make enough for them as well. And enough for us. So yeah, this will just go to our chickens. So really, there's no waste. Because, well, there are chickens. And I mean, if a little bit of carrot gets stuck in there, well, I don't think anyone's really going to notice. I do want that broth, though. That's a potato. I mean, it's sad because, like, this is a lot of work, but if you don't like it, there's no sense in keeping it on your shelf, thinking maybe one day I'll eat it, when you know you're not gonna. This is another pork supper. Turn this down a little bit. Mostly all the vegetables are on the top anyways. So. That can go there. Telling you guys, I'm cleaning out that basement full of jars. But yeah, so that'll be a nice treat for the chickens anyways, and turkeys. They get a lot of our scraps anyways. Not a whole lot goes to waste around here. So that's going to be quite a bit of pork. But, like I said, I want 2 or 3 meals of it. So she can pop it in her freezer. I thought while I'm doing this, I might as well make a few for her as well. Help her out. Because when we move away, I won't be able to do it. Unless I ship her food. There we go. So now, we got this going on here. That's fat. Now all I'm going to do is pop this in the oven. I got my oven on. And I'm just going to let it slow roast for most of the day. And then we'll shred it up and put some homemade barbecue sauce on it. And I'll be right back. I'm gonna go feed my chickens. Alright guys, so this is just the start of my spaghetti sauce. And that's olive oil in the bottom. Man, do I miss my farm pastured beef. Can't wait to get another one of those. Alright. So, my normal keg seasoning. And I'm going to do just a little bit of red chili flake. Some garlic salt. Oh, I was going to put onion in there and I can't. You know what? It should cook down. He might not even notice. No, he'll notice. Alright. Well, poo. Alright, so we're going to go with garlic. Lots of garlic to fight off all the pesky germs out there right now. All right. And I'll let this cook. I'm going to put it on the back burner for a little while. And we're going to try one of my new spices. It's called Adobo 6 Spice. I'm going to show it to you. You guys can see it. This is from that little store. You're supposed to add sour cream to it, but I think it'll give it a nice flavor. If I can get it open. Okay, I'll work away at that. Doesn't want to open. You know what? Let's just throw it in. I'm good with that. Some basil. I'm excited to get an herb garden back again, because I really don't like buying store-bought spices that much. We're even going to try to grow mustard this year. A little bit of mustard, dry mustard. You know, my husband could literally eat pasta every day. He just loves it. My son, not so much. But he's getting picky in his old age. I'm going to add some black pepper. I'm going to refrain from the salt for now. Gotta get this open one more time. Smell this. It smells spicy. So we're just going to add a little bit, because my mother-in-law is going to be eating this too. Work away at that meat a little bit more. All right. Let's get opening some jars. Oh, jar of our chili sauce. That just adds such a depth of flavor, that chili sauce in here. So good. And I did forget the whole tomatoes. Okay. Gonna have to run back downstairs and get whole tomatoes. 1 large jar of homemade spaghetti sauce. It's going to look a little weird to start because of all the olive oil in the bottom. It'll look like a little bit murky, but it'll clean up. There we go. And then once I add the tomatoes, which I got to go back downstairs and get. That'll be beautiful. All right, I'm going to pop this on the back of the stove, and I'll bring you back for another one. All right, guys, here's the pulled pork. I've just been kind of pulling it a little bit. Smells really good. So now I'm just going to add I don't know how this happens, but we end up with like little bits of barbecue sauce in the fridge, so we're going to use those up. Not sure how that happens, but it happens here all the time. All right. There we go. And then I'm just going to put this back in the oven with the lid off. And then I'll let it cool down, put it in freezer bags for my in-laws, and they'll have a good meal when they're ready to put on top of some nachos or anything like that. All right, guys. All right. Whoop. All right, I'm going to pop this back in the oven, and I'll bring you back for a little bit more. All right, guys, there's the pasta. All right. So I'm going to send half of this to my in-laws, half for us. I got quite a few meals in my freezer. Oh, I was going to show you the pulled pork, too. And there's the pulled pork. And then I'm just going to put this in freezer bags. Mark it for my in-laws. I'll probably keep a couple because we might have like pulled pork nachos or something. But I'll probably keep one of those for us as well. And then you guys have seen me make pie crust quite a few times. So, but you know, you guys have seen enough of that. But then I made this. Now, this was the only time I ever used clear gel, and I can't say I'm ever going to use it again. I did strawberry rhubarb pie filling, and not a big fan. I will tell you right now. I mean, I know a lot of people use it. I don't like this. Like this goopiness. I don't know. But anyways, I will eat it. I only have like 4 jars down there. I have 4 750s. So, I mean, I will eat them, but yeah, I can't say I'm ever going to use the clear gel again. But yeah. So, that's the end of the freezer meals at this point. But I hope you guys really enjoyed them. Sorry the last one wasn't very entertaining. But that's kind of what I had planned. So I do hope you guys enjoyed them. And I appreciate you guys coming along with me for the freezer meals. And thank you so much. If you guys could, please like, share, and subscribe. And, you know, leave those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. And I will talk to you. Oh, Michael's going to do morning chores with you guys tomorrow morning. Yeah. So that should be pretty cool. So that should be up tomorrow. So I think that's pretty cool. I need to go walk my dog. And thanks so much, guys. I hope you guys have an awesome, awesome day. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.